Uy, alam mo ba?
Ayon sa research ko,
Did you know?
Updated ka ba dun sa...
FYI, ito ang kaalaman para sa kabataan. For Youth Info, the podcast.
This podcast is brought to us by the NATCO Youth Committee and the NATCO Children and Youth Team.
Hello, kabataan, and hello, FYI listeners, and welcome back to another episode of the For Youth Info, the FYI podcast. We're now on our 19th episode. This podcast is brought to you by NATCO Children and Youth, the youth program of National Confederation of Cooperatives that fosters development and leadership among young people. The program is managed by NATCO Children and Youth Team in collaboration with the NATCO Youth Committee.
Today's episode is a little softer, a little deeper, and honestly very close to the heart. We're talking about family, not just the traditional definition, but the kind of family that shapes who we are. From the dinner table to late night talks, from discipline to unconditional love. Because let's be real, whether our families are loud, quiet, complicated, or chosen, they influence us more than we realize. This episode is called Kwentong Pamilya, the Heart of Who We Are.
So I am Darius, your Luzon representative.
And I am Moana, your Youth Committee representative from Mindanao.
So joining us today is an alumna of the University of the Philippines. She began her corporate career in 2002 with one of the country's premier telecommunication companies. For years, she had led teams across organizations, specializing in quality management, training, and development. As a training consultant, she regularly designs and facilitates programs on leadership, critical and creative thinking, customer relations, management, professional presence, peer coaching, business presentation, business writing, and among others, with a strong emphasis on experiential and adult learning principles. She is a mother of three and a homeschooling advocate. FYI listeners, please welcome Miss Ana Katrina Apostol.
Hello po, good morning. How are
Hello.
you feeling today po?
Good morning. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling awesome. Good morning, Moana. Good morning, Darius. I'm delighted to be here. Thank you for inviting me. And I'd also like to say a good morning to all of your listeners and all FYI viewers.
So, before we start sa ating topic talaga for today, how's the year so far, Moana? And let's ask our guest after.
So far, it's been very eventful. Oo, kasi although wala pa naman akong masyadong ginagawa, but the anticipation of the things that I'll be doing throughout this year, yun talaga yung parang eventful for me. One of my New Year's resolution kasi for this year is trying to be more grateful, or yun lang, trying to be more grateful and learning when to really recognize the things that you should be grateful for. So far, parang I'm really trying to implement that sa daily life ko. How about you naman, Miss Dada?
Yan, ang ganda, no? Being grateful. I like that. Pa-copy-paste ako niya na. Gusto ko rin yan, na New Year's resolution. Ako as a mom, parang hit the ground running na eh. Talagang I really find time in the very busy day to, pockets of quiet time to really reflect on the year that has gone and ano yung mga pwedeng incorporate na bago sa year na to improve for myself, for my family, for my children. So far, it has been a very reflective time for me itong start ng year, no? More of assessing nasaan kami in terms of a family, yung mga character of my children that I'd like to influence, and ano pa yung pwede namin improve in the different areas of our lives. So kung gusto ko rin yan ipasok yung being grateful, no? Grateful for the year that has been, and so far so good, very reflective, really just assessing saan kami mag-improve, pero syempre looking back with really thanksgiving sa ibinigay sa ating isa na namang taon. Yan.
I'm really grateful for 2025 that although ang daming nangyari sa 2025, like something na dapat maiwan lang talaga dapat sa 2025, but it really reminded me na there will always be something to look forward to. And that would be the mantra for 2026, I guess. So let's start with our first
Oo,
question. Kasi ang
correct.
comforting ng food for me. This question is for you, Miss Dada. What is that one meal that instantly reminds you of home or a specific family member?
Very interesting yung tanong na yan kasi mahilig din akong kumain. And most of the time,
Foodie.
yan, di ba sa family natin, tayo lalong mga Filipinos, talagang social activity ang pagkain, di ba? Hindi lang siya really to nourish us para mabusog, but really it's a time for interaction and reflection. Sa akin, Moana and Darius, ang nakakapagpaalala sa akin ng family member ko, especially my mom, home-cooked Christmas ham. Pag Pasko kasi, alam niyo yung mom ko kasi is a very good cook. In fact, she's a food technologist. So marami siyang ginagawa sa bahay na yung ibang mga pamilya binibili sa labas. Kami, like kunyari, homemade ice cream, homemade hot dogs, yan, ginagawa ng mom ko being a food technologist. So I'm always reminded of my mom whenever naaamoy ko yung smell ng home-cooked ham. Kasi yung bahay namin, pag malapit na yung Pasko, there's always something cooking in the kitchen, and a lot of it is home cooked ham, whether to give to families, to friends, even to sell for extra income, or a ham for us to enjoy sa Noche Buena. Kaya yun, pag may bibisita sa amin, naaamoy yung buong bahay namin, amoy Pasko na. Pero with my own family, what reminds me of them is bulalo. Yan, paborito yan ng mga anak ko. Nung
Ang sarap.
10-year-old and 8-year-old. Yes, di ba? Bulalos very hearty, very comforting, di ba? Lalo pag malamig, yan, it feels very
Taglamig
warm.
ka rin, madam.
Nagugutom ka na ba,
Basta,
Darius?
pwede.
Nagugutom.
Magbulala tayo after this. So, yun,
Yes.
it reminds me of my children, hearty, comforting food.
So, grabe, food really holds memories mo. So, parang one bite lang, ang maaalala mo is yung mother mo with that ham. So, bumabalik lahat ng kwento, and like hinalat ko talaga dito, which is yung sinabi mo kanina, food is a B. B is for bonding siya. And
Yes.
grabe yung feeling na nun na actually it's a good love language na when you are together with the person that you love and you eat food and do nothing else and talk about whatever that is happening right now, that is such a big comfort after a long tiring day or pag-start pa lang. Siguro ko on my end rin when it comes to food. Breakfast really reminds me of my dad. Like, feeling ko di ako lulusog ng bomba kung hindi ako napipilit ng tatay ko na mag-breakfast ka nga lagi. So parang nadala ko siya dito sa college. Hindi ako pwede makasurvive na walang breakfast. Okay lang walang lunch, basta may breakfast. Ganun na yung naging mentality ko behind. And isa pa, alam mo yung tipong hindi mo alam yung exact day sa week na yon kasi ang daming nangyayari. But maalala mo na Friday kasi yung ulam is chicken and munggo. I mean,
True.
ibang level ng combo yun for me. Like, ang comforting na. So, how about you, Moana? Ano kwentong food mo?
Sa akin naman, any dish na may vegetable. Mahilig kasi yung mom ko magluto ng mga dishes na may vegetables, ganun. Parang hindi kumpleto yung araw niya if hindi siya makakain ng a dish na walang gulay or ganun. Parang hindi healthy sa paningin niya. So, kailangan talaga, parang at least once a day, may meal na may gulay talaga. Oo. Kasi it's not even about how fancy the food is, di ba? Hindi naman kasi kailangan caviar yung kainin natin every day. It's about who made it and why. So, dito naman tayo, Miss Dada. Every family shows love differently. Some are vocal, some show tough love, and others express care through acts of service, like fixing things, silently supporting you during your darkest moments in life. Pero sa'yo naman, how does your family show love?
To be honest, I grew up in a household na hindi very affectionate. And when I say that, I mean, we don't freely express how we love each other. We rarely say, I love you, although you feel it. Somehow, we don't give each other, a lot of hugs, and kisses. Hindi kami ganong family. Instead, we do things for each other. Di ba, my mom, as I mentioned, good cook siya. So she expresses love by always making sure that we are nourished. There's always food on the table. There's always something to eat. Kahit may kasama kaming kaibigan, pag dinala namin sa bahay, hindi na namin kailangan sabihin, Ma, may kasama ako, may pagkain ba? There's always something to serve them. So that's how she will show her love. My dad, on the other hand, will make sure naman that we are safe. Ganun naman siya magpakita ng love niya. He will drive us everywhere kasi nga, he's actually a veterinary doctor. So he's everywhere, like regional around the country kasi consultant siya sa farm. So on times that he can, he will drive us wherever we need to be or he will drop us off. Ganun naman siya kahit nasaan pa. Siguro kasi tatlo kaming magkakapatid na babae. So he wants to make sure that we are protected, we are safe. Yan, may ate kasi ako, I'm a middle child. Yung bunso namin babae din. So in my own family, as I mentioned, I have a 10-year-old girl, an 8-year-old girl, and a bunso na boy. 3 years old lang siya. I wanted it to be different. I felt the love in my family, pero I wanted it to be different in the sense that, my family and my children will feel that I love them. So as much as I can, and as a family, we say I love you to each other. We give hugs anytime. Pag nagkakasalubong kami sa hallway or kapag nag-homeschool kami, we are very generous. And we are very generous with hugging and kissing and saying I love yous. Yung husband ko actually is very introvert. He's an engineer. He also grew up in the same household na hindi rin ma-I love you tsaka mabigay ng affection. Siguro na-rub in ko na sa kanya yung pagiging ganun and I will communicate to him na let's be expressive with our children. So ngayon, minsan nauuna pa siya, maghahag sa mga bata, magkikis sa mga bata, mauuna pa siya. And hindi sila na awkward sa ganun kasi growing up, they've seen that. And experts say that when parents are affectionate toward each other, children feel more secured. They feel more a sense of acceptance and belongingness. And so they are more confident of themselves, of their identity. So parang yun yung gusto kong gawin at dalhin sa family that I now have. Kayo naman, sa mga families niyo.
Sa akin naman po, parang baliktad sa'yo. I grew up in a very affectionate naman na household. Oo. Although my parents weren't affectionate to each other kasi I grew up in a broken family. So my father and mother lived separately. Pero they were always affectionate to me naman. So yun nga, parang growing up, I always heard them telling me that they love me, they're proud of me, ganun. So, yun nga, parang nadala ko na rin sa adulthood ko na parang yung love language ko naman or how I express my love to other people is through words of affirmation din. I love telling people that I'm proud of them, that I'm here to support them, ganun po. So, yun nga, I really agree with what you said, Miss Tada, na when children see how affectionate their parents are, not only to each other, but also towards their children, they can also bring that to their adulthood and how they interact with other people in their daily lives. How about you naman, DJ?
Love doesn't always look like hugs or I love yous. Sometimes consistency siya and sometimes sacrifice siya. On our household kasi, same talaga kay Moana na very affectionate talaga. Like, alam mo po, kahit 20 na po ako ngayon, my parents kiss me goodnight. Tapos, every time na ihahatid nila ako sa terminal, like si mama, si papa, si dada, si mami man yan na maghatid sa akin. Siyempre, dapat may kiss and hug na parang dala. Kasi ganun kami mag-show ng love. But ang something kasi na napansin ko na go give kami ng love sa isa't isa. Pero paano naman kung magkakaaway, 'di ba? Kasi actually po, ako po yung panganay and may tatlo pa akong kapatid na mga lalaki. So, lahat kami boys. And syempre, as boys, mahilig talaga kami mag-wrestle and stuff. Mga, tapos yung mga point na lagi kami nagsisipaan, nagsusuntukan
Nagsusuntukan.
Pero, mas naaalala ko yung
Light play, oo.
mga bata-bata pa kami. Yung tayo lang sa akin ni Ma is that, hindi pwede matulog hanggat di okay. So, you'll say sorry to your kuya and you'll say sorry to your brother. So, by the end of the day, or by the end of the fight, or pag night, dapat hindi pwede na the next morning, may galit ako kay sa kapatid ko, ganun. Hindi, dapat sasabihin mo siya upfront, sabihin mo kung saan siya nagkamali, and i-correct ang isa't isa. Ganun dapat. But speaking of ng mga family member, who is a family member, or immediate or extended, who has influenced you in ways they may not even realize?
Sa akin, alam mo yung parents ko kasi grew up in the different ends of the spectrum. Yung dad ko, very well off sa province sila. Very well off. They were given everything that they needed. They were sent here in Manila to study and everything was provided for them. My mom, on the other hand, grew up in a poor family. Yung tipong hindi na sila mapadala sa college. So may schedule, si ate muna and then ate will help you. Ganun sila. So my mom was very strong, very resilient. She actually sent herself to college. So she found odd jobs to take para masupport niya yung sarili niya. So growing up, she promised na her children will not experience the same hardships and challenges. So I've always heard this story. She would share this to us, and at the time, I didn't really appreciate it as much as I appreciate it now, being a mom myself. Pero ang dami pala, it becomes real to you kapag nandun ka na sa paa or sa sapatos ng mga magulang mo. So, without me realizing it, now that I'm already also a mom myself, nakita ko na-influence niya ako in the sense na to be resilient, to have that grit. When you want something, you know, that hindi ka susuko hanggat ma-achieve mo yung dream na yon. You know, it doesn't have to be a financial target. You know, it could be anything that you put your heart into. So, yun yung na-influence niya ako kasi against all odds, she was able to send herself to school. I may not have the same challenge kasi I was provided for, and nangyari yon because of her sacrifices and because of her commitment. Kung hindi niya siguro ginawa yung mga sacrifices na yun, hindi naging available sa akin yung mga comforts that I now enjoy. So now that I'm also a mom, na-realize ko, nakuha ko pala sa mom ko yung pagiging resilient, yung, having that growth mindset, that learner mindset na, whatever challenges that come my way, I can overcome. Not only because, I'll have the proper resources, but because I have faith, in myself and in the Lord na, sasamahan niya ako na malalampasan ko to. So yun, kayo naman, I'm interested to hear sino sa family member niya.
I also think that my mom is the most influential family member that I have in my life. Mainly because, kasi diba, I already mentioned kanina na I grew up in a broken family. So, parang yung setup namin is, during the academic year is I stay with my mom, tapos during Christmas and summer naman, doon ako pupunta sa dad ko. So talagang most of my life, I spent it with my mom kasi majority of the year naman I'm staying with her, di ba? Pero it's not just that, kasi similar din sa mom ni Miss Dada, no? My mother also grew up in a family that had a lot of challenges financially. Parang dumating sa point na siya pa talaga yung nagpumilit para lang makapag-take siya na entrance exam sa college, no? But despite that, she had a lot of sacrifices to reach her goals. Tapos, yung ano din, kasi, di ba, I started sa cooperative movement, parang 8 years old, 7 years old pa lang ako, kasi I really started really young sa cooperative movement. Tapos, of course, may days talaga na bilang bata, no, parang napapagod na akong pumunta sa office, parang ayoko nang mag-attend ng events kasi of course, especially if galing ka pa sa school, ganun, marami ka pang iisipin, gusto mo pang mag-play with friends, for example, pero may other commitments ka na kasi sa cooperative. Talagang it was my mother that really made me realize how important certain aspects of my life are. Tsaka ano din, parang whenever there are moments of self-doubt, kasi for example, recently during sa college days ko, when I was in first year college, the first week, parang I decided to shift courses or change programs agad to I changed it to economics kasi I realized na parang the previous course that I chose wasn't for me. But it was really my mother who made me realize that it's okay, I can do it as long as I take that leap of faith. And yun nga, parang my mother has really been the most caring person in my life and also the one person who can really ground me into reality whenever I need it. Ikaw naman, Deej, who's the most influential family member?
So, siguro ko this will be in general na lang to my lola, to my mommy. Kasi lola sa father side, and mommy sa mother side, and mama sa mama ko. So, they mothered so much. Mother means somehow they did it so well. They did it so well even alam mo na madami rin silang problema. They did it so well even though it's super hard na. Yung mga bagay na sila mismo yung gumagawa ng paraan para di mo na ma-feel na ang laki-laki ng problema. Kakayanan taini means we can do it.
Oo, no? Ang ganda nun kasi they don't even realize how big their impact on our lives are. Parang how they shape our values, our confidence, how we interact with other people in our daily lives, no? But now naman, let's talk about the present and the future at the same time. What is one thing you wish your parents or elders truly understood about being a young person in 2026? Parang pwede mo din itong i-tie back sa mga anak mo, Miss Tada, no? Considering na may young kiddos ka pa naman.
What do I wish parents knew or understood about being a young person in 2026? Alam niyo, nung kinukwento niyo kanina sa akin, the type of household or type of families that you grew up in, sabi niyo na medyo magkaiba tayo ng opposite. You grew up in a family that's very affectionate. Na-realize ko, it has something to do also with the generations who raised us. Kasi you are very young, you are young professionals, and ako medyo nasa midlife na ako. So medyo merong factor in play kung anong generation yung nag-raise sa atin. For parents, for people who grew up with parents in my generation, and I think most Filipinos naman, Filipino parents share the same sentiment na we always want the best for our children, and lalo na yung generation who raised my generation, they really valued providing financially to their children. But I wish parents will now understand that that should not come at the expense of connection. Now, yes, we can provide for our families. We can, work hard and support them, but the connection should always be there. Because when children feel that they belong, that they are accepted, that's the time they form their own identity. Hindi kailangan sabihin ng mundo kung sino sila. Kaya nila yung hanapin for themselves. And that's what I wish parents of children of this generation know and understand, na more than just providing, making sure there's food on the table, na meron pa ring time for connection and for our children know in whatever way that they can. According to World Health Organization, 1 in 7 children right now, ages 10 to 19, experience some form of depression. So yan yung mga nakakaharap ng mga youth natin right now. And I understandably so, because more than ever, walang generation na as exposed to technology, to social media, as how the youth right now are exposed to, 'di ba? There's always that culture of ikukumpara mo yung sarili mo, na ba't wala ako nito, nakikita ko ibang tao may ganito. So I wish the parents of young people right now, this year and the years to come, will appreciate that and understand that facet, that factor that's in play in the lives of our young children. Na ma-address din natin 'yun. Na our children, more than ever, they need guidance also. They need us to be present. They need us to be there for them when things are confusing, when things are not as clear as they want it to be, because as you mentioned kanina, 'di ba, they will carry that into their adult life long after we're gone and they're on their own. So yun yung something that I wish parents or elders guiding young persons would understand and appreciate.
Nako. That hits hard talaga, Miss Dada, no? Especially what you said about yung parang data regarding sa depression. Kasi ako naman, growing up, I wasn't really diagnosed with depression, but I struggled with panic attacks. Parang umabot sa point na parang pagising ko pa lang every morning, magkaka-panic attack na ako agad. And it was really my family, my mother especially, that held me throughout those dark moments in my life. Even when I couldn't understand my own triggers, she really took it upon herself to go through that journey with me. Because being young today really isn't an easy journey. It's not something that's easy to navigate because we're navigating expectations, uncertainty, pressure, and a digital world that never pauses. So parang ang hirap-hirap talaga maging membro ng kabataan sa panahon ngayon, no?
We have different generations, and different generations have different trends when it comes to
Oo.
then parenting situations back then, and at the same time how they face adversity, kumbaga. But today's time, and let's highlight rin what Miss Dada mentioned about the depression case. Mental health really matters, and better na maagapan siya than hayaan siya. Kasi maagapan siya, the role of the family, or sabihin na natin the parents, is to always be there. All we really want is understanding and not judgment. And masosolve siya through proper relations talaga and openness towards that situation rin. So, family doesn't always means blood. This question is for Miss Dada. How do you define family through your friendships naman?
Family, parents, even your siblings, they always want the best for you, diba? And this love that we give to our family members, it often requires us to sacrifice, and there's a level of commitment to that love. Now, when you bring that context to friendship, that's when friendships also become family. Pero extra special ang friendship kasi, di ba, for families, you don't choose families. You don't choose the family you will be born in. You are bound by blood. Pero in friendships, you get to choose. Pero the level of love and commitment can be the same. Kaya meron tayong mga friends, 'di ba, na parang pamilya na. 'Di ba? Lahat nga ng mga kaibigan natin, ate, kuya, tito, tita, kapagka mas may edad sila sa atin. Because we treat them the same way, we love them the same way, we give them the commitment the same way. Since we have the capacity to choose who our family friends will be, 'di ba? That we choose wisely. Sabi sa Bible, sa Proverbs, whoever walks with the wise becomes wise, but the companion of fools will suffer harm. So, I'm not saying choose your friends based on status, based on resources, but choose friends who have the same values as you. Kasi eventually, they will shape who you are. So, take care of your friends as you would take care of your family. Share the same values as them. Madami tayong mga friendships mula grade school, high school, kayo, di ba? College. Siguro interesting din to say, no? Alin ba sa mga friendships na yun, yung mga talagang hanggang ngayon, friends mo pa rin sila. Pero actually, it doesn't really matter how long you've been in that friendship. What matters more is the love and the commitment na ibibigay mo sa friendship. I remember sinabi ko to sa asawa ko a few days before. Sabi ko, the beauty of old age is you are now in a position to pick who will be in your inner circle. You have I guess, I would say wisdom na to say, sino yung i-allow mo sa inner circle mo and you will allow to influence you. Like right now, I've kept just a few friends, pero those friends are friends who I commit my time, my resources, my energy to. You don't have to say yes to all friendships eh. Pero mamimili ka talaga ng kung sino yung pag-iinvestan mo because friendship is also an investment. So same way with the family. So that's how I will define family through the friendships that I have.
On our age, 'di ba? This is the part na hindi ka gano'n ka-open sa family mo, but you'll run sa friends. Makimkim kasi talaga akong tao. Like, parang sinasarili ko lahat ng problems ko. One time, I shared sa friend ko, and I always feel like a burden when I share kasi. And he told me this, shared joy is double joy. Shared sorrow is half a sorrow. Nung na-realize ko nga yun, sabi ko, oo nga, no. Malilesen yung feeling. And it's a choice. Kanino mo lang i-share yung mga ganun.
Ako naman, parang growing up, I've always had a struggle with sustaining those friendships. Sa tingin ko naman, friends ko pa rin sila, pero may ibang people kasi na if hindi kayo palaging magkasama, sa tingin lang hindi na kayo as close as you were before, ganun. Parang wala naman akong hold na anything bad against them. Pero yun lang din yung isang challenge ko siguro in terms of forming friendships and sustaining them talaga. Yung friends ko from elementary, high school, college, talagang magkaiba talaga sila and they've seen me during different moments of my life. Chosen family is real talaga. No? There are friends who feel like home. There are friends who celebrate your wins and sit with you during your lows. Pero meron din talagang mga people na kailangan mo pang parang gamitan ng discernment. So, this one naman, Miss Dad, parang ibang question na, separate topic. Hindi na siya when you think about having your own family someday, kasi you have your own family naman na. Pero, given that you already have your own family na, what is the number one value that you carried, hopefully, you carried into your own from your current home?
Number one, ang hirap mamili kasi sa totoo lang, there are a lot of characters na you want your children to grow up having. And siguro ma-experience nyo rin to kapag naging parents kayo na gusto nyo yung whatever you did not experience or whatever you feel na you lack, an area that you lack in, gusto mo sila maging strong sila in that area. But one thing I realized is that ang mas may value sa mga bata, sa mga anak, is not, and I've experienced that in the family that I grew up with, sa mga parents ko. Actually, example in modeling, they're the best teacher eh. No matter how much you tell your children, hey, be patient with your siblings, be patient with your schoolwork, hindi sila magiging ganun hanggat hindi nila nakikita yon. Sometimes the best teacher is your modeling and your example. So, ang gandang reminder sa akin ito palagi na when I teach my children patience, am I patient? When I teach my children to be loving, am I loving? So, nagiging, kumbaga, internal barometer ko rin siya to examine myself. So, to answer that question, what is the number one value? So, sa lahat ng character and values that I would like for them to have, I would like for them, and I hope I succeed in this, that I want them to carry the value of love in the future homes or in their future families and life in general, that they always walk in love for themselves, love for others, and love for God. Kapag may love ka within you, when you have love for yourself, you know how to take care of yourself, you know how to set boundaries, that will set you up for success in the long run. And we measure success in different ways. It doesn't have to always be financial success, but success in relationships, success in your chosen career, your happiness, that is success. So when you have love for others, there's always compassion, diba? When there's always, you always look for opportunities to serve others and not just yourself. And when there's love for God, you always feel confident. na in whatever decision you make, as long as you consult God, as long as you pray, and as long as you involve God because you love Him, then, you always have that confidence that you're doing the right thing. So if there's number one value that I would like my family to carry on, even after I'm long gone, when they're all also starting and building their own families, that has to be love. That's the number one.
Similar lang naman din kang Miss Tada, no? I think her answer is really beautiful. Kasi, yun nga, when we learn to love other people and love ourselves, parang we can get through anything naman in life as long as we learn to see the little moments of peace and where we can use that love to change the world into a better place. Pero sa akin naman, parang yun nga, similar lang kami stada, pero the value of caring, kasi I think that love really starts with being able to care and have compassion, not only towards other people, of course, but also towards yourself, and to recognize that you also have to extend that level of compassion and having care towards yourself even when you're going through very tough moments in your life kasi 'di ba ang tendency naman natin is if we're going through something difficult in our lives, yung tendency na natin is baka mag-self-blame tayo, ganun. I don't know if maybe that's just me, pero yun kasi ako, parang my mother always has to remind me, my family always has to remind me to extend that same level of compassion and care that I have for other people towards myself also, because at the end of the day, I'm still a human being, so I still have to learn how to have that level of care towards myself. So siguro one day, if I do end up having a family of my own, then that's also the number one value that I'd want to carry over.
Yung naturo sa akin, na ma-remind sa akin pagkabata pa hanggang ngayon, it never hurts to be kind. And yun yung something na mapapasa ko if ever man na I want to create my own home. Sa situation ngayon na nangyayari sa mundo, it never hurts to be kind because anyone can be struggling on their own sa everyday. You'll never know. So, with that, I feel like values are the real inheritance. Hindi naman madedefine yung success financially, but feeling ko, kung as a parent na lang, no, like, kung i-position ko ang sarili ko, feeling ko, mapaproud ako kung yung magiging anak ko is yun yung something na makukuha sa akin. Like, pwede ka, sumakses ka na sa lahat, but as long na mabuti kang tao, that's good. So, parang, values are the real inheritance, not money, not material things, but how we treat people, kumbaga. For you, Miss Dada, what is something your parents or guardians sacrificed for you that you only realized when you got older?
Kasi pag single tayo, no, ako, I remember it's parang ancient history na nung single ako, no, pero when I try to go back to that phase in my life when I was single, I had all the time in the world, I can afford to dream big dreams, schedule my life around my activities, go on trips that I want, no. Maaaring hindi to posible sa lahat ng single, pero for most of single people, 'di ba, this is their reality. And I think this is what my parents sacrificed for me, and most Filipino parents for that matter, no, na hindi nare-realize ng mga young people. Our parents used to be a single person like us. They had their own dreams, they had their own schedule, and when we came into their lives, nung nagkaroon na sila ng mga anak, they had to rearrange their lives to accommodate us. And that might mean, letting go of a big dream, letting go of a big target or goal. Maybe they had a goal to go around the world at this age. Pero, life happens, and when you have children, you put their well-being in front of your own. Young people will sometimes appreciate that, but hindi natin fully nagagrasp yung reality na yon. So, I think what I want to say is, let's not take that lightly, that sacrifice that our parents did for us. That we keep on honoring them while they're still here. We express how much we appreciate them and how much we love them. And, I will admit that not all parents are perfect parents. Not all parents, masasabi natin, ideal parents. Pero the fact that God chose them and placed them in our lives to be our parents, that alone deserve our respect, and that deserve that we honor them. So each time, just go back and realize that and appreciate our parents are once children. They were once young adult like us who had big dreams, and you know, um, they sacrificed and committed to raising us, and that, deserves our honor and deserves our respect.
As Miss Dada stated na yung mga comfort na na-achieve mo ay dahil yan sa mga sakripisyo na nagawa nila. And the point here is like maging patient talaga. Siguro ko yan yung need rin marinig ng youth na ginawa nila yun out of love. Every
Yes.
penny, every penny, and every blood, sweat, and tears na they pour to their passion.
Siguro something that every parent naman has sacrificed na parang we only realize when we get older is talagang yung peace of mind nila. Kasi yun nga yung na-mention ni Miss Dada no, na they were once teenagers too, they were once single people who, sure, they had their own problems, but ultimately they didn't really have to worry pa about familial things like raising their own child. Growing up really changes our perspective naman. We start seeing the quiet sacrifices, the things that our parents never talked about kasi they were scared pa to share it with us before. But now that we're older, they're more likely na to share it with us because they think that we're more mature and we can take what they're telling us already. We can accept them without judgment. But moving on, no, let's have our Pika Pika, our reflection for today's episode. Listening to your stories reminds us that family isn't perfect naman talaga. Kasi yun yung sinabi ni, di ba, Miss Tada na every parent naman isn't perfect. There are parents that don't fit what we view as the ideal standard of a perfect parent is. But sometimes kasi it's still formative. It teaches us love, patience, resilience, and sometimes forgiveness, even in the darkest moments of our upbringing. Kasi ako, coming from a broken family, I've spent a long, long time navigating the quiet spaces where traditional structures should have been. Kasi growing up, parang hindi pa kasi sobrang uso nun yung mga household na isa lang yung parent or mga household na parang may same-sex na parents, ganun. So parang iba talaga siya for me before. There was a kind of pressure to live up to what the traditional structures were. But I've learned growing up that home isn't always a specific house or a complete set of parents or what society dictates a home or what a family should look like because it is the strengths that we build in the gaps that they left behind. It's a kind of bonding that we have with the people that we choose, with the people that we're bonded over by blood, for example. So it could be our friends, it could be our family talaga that we have blood related ties with. Because while the cracks in my foundation were painful, they allowed room for growth. Kasi ako, growing up, parang naalala ko talaga na I really struggled with the idea of a broken family. Parang every birthday ko, kasi di ba may candles yun, tapos you get to have a wish. Parang every wish ko talaga is sana magkabalikan yung parents ko. But growing up, no, I've realized na thankfully, hindi sila nagkabalikan. Kasi it's also okay to realize that your parents can still be good parents to you even though they aren't parang swak sa each other. So, yun nga, parang I've realized a lot of things today, no? Especially with the insightful insights of Miss Tada na she gets to talk about her experiences naman from the perspective of a parent na she's still growing up with her children then. So, how about you, DJ? What's your pika-pika for today?
Talking about family really reminds me of how complex this world is. Kasi kahit tatlo lang tayo na nag-uusap-usap ngayon, ibang perspective natin eh. So, for some, family is comfort and safety. For others, dito natin matututunan ang paging resilient, ang pagsakripisyo. So, as kids, we don't always see the sacrifices. So, it's only when we get older, mas na-realize natin gano'n natin ka-appreciate ang parents natin na nakikarry nila quietly just to give us better chances. At the same time, being young today comes with pressures, no? That our elders didn't experience. Constant expectations, yung uncertainty, and a world that really slows down. Kasi ang fast pace na ng mga nangyayari. So what we often need isn't judgment, but understanding. Yung nabanggit ko kanina. These conversations matter. Why? Because they help us reflect on what we want to heal, and what we want to do differently. So our generation has the chance to redefine family. Actually, this time around, it's your choice how you do it. And at the end of the day, family isn't just where we come from, it's who we choose to become. Thank you, Miss Anna, for sharing your heart and story with us today.
Madami din akong natutunan sa inyo. Thank you so much for spending this. I had a wonderful morning with both of you. Lahat ng mga sinabi niyo, very insightful din for me. And it gives me a glimpse of what's on the mind of a young professional right now like you, 'di ba? Kasi lalaki din yung mga anak ko ay magiging katulad niyo din. Um, I think sa lahat ng mga napag-usapan natin, ang key takeaway ko talaga is no family is perfect. No? Walang perfect family. And those nuances in the families, those are the things that make our family special. We may not get the family that we want all the time, but we are sure that God gives us the family that we need. Maybe to develop our character, to develop our values, to be the people na we are destined to be. So, our families are actually in the heart of who we are. Kahit sabihin natin hindi tayo nila katulad, even our parents, I vow to never be like them, even if we say things like that. At the heart of it all, at the center of it all, masasabi natin, our families influence us, whether negatively or positively. And so I hope we take that with us also. We carry that when we have our own families, or maybe even just how we interact with other people. That, we extend the same compassion, the same understanding to our families. And at the end of the day, be still grateful to them. Okay, kahit ano yung mga experiences natin with our individual unique families, that we look back and look at them with grateful hearts pa din, because they influence us to be who we are today. Yun lang. And I also would like to thank you for inviting me today. It has been a wonderful, terrific experience. No better way to spend my Tuesday morning than be here. I really honestly enjoyed my time here. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much, Miss Dada, for sharing your insights with us today. But of course, we'd also like to thank our listeners for tuning in and reflecting with us. Whether your family is by blood, by choice, or by circumstance, your story matters.
So this has been episode 19 of the FYI podcast, Kwentong Pamilya, the heart of who we are.
Join us again next time for more conversations that empower, inspire, and connect the youth.
This is the For Youth Info podcast.
Laman para sa kabataan.
So, ayan. Thank you, Miss Dad.
Yay!